one.
Welcome back to the podcast, What's the Odds with Steve Ranazizi. It is September 2nd, 2020. I remember that because it's my anniversary. Happy 14th anniversary to my lovely wife, 14 years ago today. During a hurricane, we got married on Long Island, New York. Hurricane Ernesto swept through, and it was quite a storm, but we had a wonderful time. We almost lost half of the wedding party to a big wave, we were on the water, so a big wave came and onto the deck. It was fun, it was exciting, and I would do it all again tomorrow. So and I'm joined.
Well, you can't do it again tomorrow, Steve. They don't let you do weddings anymore.
Yeah, what would happen now? That would be that would be the thing. Like, we would just have to have a small wedding, which I think we would prefer. We almost got remarried in Graceland. That was an opportunity to. By the way, I saw someone deface Graceland or spray painted. As a protester, they spray painted Black Lives Matter, I believe. Just wanted for the record, people have already. It was not me or any member of my family. We just went to Graceland. We saw Elvis's carpeted ceiling, and we moved on. So. Just want to make that clear.
You were pretty upset that you weren't allowed in certain places.
They wanted to go upstairs. We weren't allowed to go upstairs, but we did not take it out on any, we did not, spray paint or anything. We didn't defame Graceland at all. So let the record state it was not us. And if you want to bring it, bring it. And if I die, I die, to quote the great Kirk Cousins, if I die, I die. Who is interviewing? This is why we don't have guests. We could have guests. I know football players. But why are we going to ask them questions that one day they will sit there and go, I should never have fucking done this podcast or this thing or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're going to ask Kirk Cousins, is he nervous, right? You're going to get the standard answer. But of course, Kirk Cousins goes off on his own and starts to talk about how, he's not really too worried about it. And that, basically the headline is, he said, he quoted Drago at the end saying, if he dies, he dies, which is the dumbest thing ever, which is why it would make perfect sense for Drago to say it, because he's like just a dumb Russian. It's like, I die. That was it. Of course, because we know you'd be dead. But this is a different situation, Kirk. This is a whole different situation. If your offensive lineman dies, then you may die as a result of that, of being sacked 1,000 times. So but who cares what Kirk Cousins thinks? Who gives a fuck what he believes? What if he said aliens brought this shit down and it's all fake to get Donald Trump? Who cares? I just want to see him throw the ball. We have our priorities fucked up. Dancing with the Stars announced their cast, right? And they had so-and-so. I don't know who the fuck's on Dancing with the Stars. But you know who turned them down, who they asked? Dr. Fauci. Don't you think Dr. Fauci has better things to do right now than see if he can salsa and then be fucking judged by Kellyanne Anaba and the other guy who doesn't speak English? You got to be kidding me, man. People, ABC, the ball's on ABC. I mean, look, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. The people demanded it. The people would have watched if Dr. Fauci had been on Dancing with the Stars. Hell, I would have liked to have seen if Dr. Fauci can fucking foxtrot. But you know what? I think he's got better things to do. I hope he's got better things to do. I mean, fuck. Kirk Cousins, what a moron. You're a moron. That's the problem with no preseason games, guys. There's no bad play or no shit calls to kind of complain about and talk to the press about. So now they want to find out what your theories on pandemics are. I heard that. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
He's not worried about COVID because if someone's standing within 6 feet of him, he's going to miss them by like 20 feet.
Oh, Brenton's been stewing that one up for how long now? A couple hours? You've been thinking about it?
I was waiting for you to stop ranting.
For those of us visual people today on the podcast, this is one hell of a hair day for all of us. Every one of our manes is out. Mine looks flowing as normal. Well, not really. It's still pretty thick, but it's graying up. Brenton, you look like a Disney prince down there with that big old part waved to the side.
I'm going to let it keep growing.
Lucas, god damn, dude, it's furry. I mean, you look
Pretty
like
long.
Are you cutting it on the sides yourself?
No, I'm letting it grow until there's a vaccine. I was telling people the other night, I feel like Homer Simpson, like when he had hair. You know, like you just like let it go. Don't put anything in it. I got a full head.
Yeah, it looks like you trim the sides a little bit with scissors in the morning like this, but that could just be like the fucking mat down you got going over there.
Yeah, no, I got sideburns. I haven't shaved in 3 months.
And then Goldilocks up in the corner. It's got it flowing in that East Coast humidity, just spritzing it out. Do you get like extra curl with that humidity up there?
My hair just gets bigger. Like it just generally gets. This is actually tame because I actually used a blow dryer on it for the first time in 6 months or whatever. So like it's alive, but normally it's just up in a bun because I can't control it with this humidity. Although it's not that humid today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm back in California. We made our trip back. We finally made it. We went to we were in Austin last week, and then we went to New Mexico, Tuscamari. I don't know how you say it. Tucumar. It's right on Route 66. We spent the night there. Seems like it would be a cool town if it was not COVID, but everything seemed to be shut down during this whole pandemic. So like the hotel was great. It was like first floor, had a little dog run in it. So it was real nice, like Motel 70 style. And then, it was a little meal there. And then we went to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon just never seems to fucking not blow your mind. I know it's just a giant crater in the ground, but to me, it's like, it's ridiculous when you look at it. Like words don't do it justice. Pictures don't do it justice. You have to see it with your own two eyes. Have either of you guys been to the Grand Canyon? No? You got to go one day, dude. You got to go.
Is it free?
It's free. Here's how free it is. When we pulled in, right, to the Grand Canyon National Park, the guy's like, park ranger, he's got the whole hat on. And he goes, did you have a ticket? I said, no, I didn't realize we were going to need one. He goes, do it later on. Honor system. And my sons are like, that's amazing, Dad, that they just say, don't worry about it. That'd be cool if everything was like that. Are you going to do it? I'm like, of course I'm going to do it, because that's what keeps this national park system going. That being said, I just, to this point, when I just brought it up again, I have not done it. I forgot completely to do it, and I will do it after the podcast.
How much is it?
I don't know, but if it's anything over $50, I'm not doing it. I'm going to say I did it, and I'm not going to do it because I was only there for like 6 hours. We hiked the South Rim. You know, it's unbelievable. You look down, it's ridiculous. The path is beautiful. I stayed there once before in the actual Grand Canyon with Simone and Shafir right after the All Things Comedy Festival down in Phoenix. After that, we drove over to the Grand Canyon and we spent a couple days there. And it was, I mean, like this, every time you see it, it's unbelievable. But the kids fucking loved it. Like this trip was really amazing. It really was like something special. Not one point did anyone say like, we should have flown, or fuck, this was a bad idea. It really just like the stops we made, the laughs we had. I think most of these memories are going to be downloaded in these kids' minds at some point, that they're going to be able to remember that we were good people. Because I think we hit some, real big like family memories, which was awesome. Yeah, and now we're back here. My neighbors are doing construction. I'm sorry if you hear. I'm constantly surrounded by construction. I guess they gutted the house next door. We haven't been here in a couple months, but there's jackhammers outside, so I apologize if you hear that. But
it's
other
a
than
sign,
that,
Steve. God wants you to change occupations.
He wants me to be a foreman, right? I see. That's the thing. I don't have the ability to work my way up in the company. You probably have to start on the jackhammer, then digging holes and this and that. I know what I'm best at. I'm a foreman. I am a delegator. I'm a overseer. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm best at. And so therefore, I don't know if this company or these people, these different various construction companies would just take my sort of bullshit coming and be like, I don't want to just do this and that. Here's what I'm good at. Here's what you'll let me do. I don't know if the economy's kind of ready for that kind of job entry to a new company. Oh, guys, it's hot. and I'm tired, but the kids are back at school. They're online, and we're all sucking off the same 5G. So here we go. It's a nightmare. The Zooms have broken down. The system's broken down. I'm a teacher. At any point, someone could bust in here and ask me some algebra question that I don't know the fucking answer to. That's where we're at. 6th grade math, 6th grade science, meiosis. That's what they're doing now. Meiosis. I was like, I'm done. Like, you passed me, dude. I don't fucking know. It's some sort of scientific process where something becomes something else, I think. I mean, that's what I remembered from yesterday.
Is it meiosis or mitosis?
I think it's mitosis, because according to Google, meiosis is an excessive constriction of the pupil of the eye. So it involves drugs.
Wait, what is it? Mitosis?
Mitosis.
Yeah, it's mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division that results in 2 daughter cells, each having the same number and kind of chromosomes as the parent cells. Typical of ordinary tissue growth.
What is he learning? I don't even know what he's learning about in there.
I think they're making him a doctor.
No, I mean, like, look, they're advanced in 6th grade, but not. I mean, it's way past what I know how to do. I'm still good at gym class. I run them around. We played basketball yesterday. It was nice to go up to the store. I finally went to the Comedy Store. Lucas, have you been up there? I mean,
yeah.
Dude, I haven't left my house.
It's crazy, man. I saw Dean Del Rey at the front door. I thought he was he's lost weight. I thought he was bouncing there. Everyone's wearing a mask. I saw Lucas. I gave him a hug. I could not give you a hug, dude. I had to give you a hug. It was nice to see some old friends. Pete C's moving away, so we got to say goodbye to him. But yeah, the store, Richie Taylor's telling me about how he had to guard it during the riots. He was staying next door at the hotel, coming next door, trying to.
He didn't have to. He wanted to.
Yeah, he wanted to.
The way he told me the story, I could tell. He gave me play-by-play every time he had to come back and put black fucking paint or black stuff over the names so they wouldn't spray paint over the names. It was a whole, like, Richie was living his, like, it's like Al Bundy, the way he told those football stories, you know, like, just on Married with Children. He just keeps, he was like, I'm telling you right now, they needed me here. But yeah, it was nice to be part of the fucking comedy community again, being up there, just seeing people, even though it's weird not being able to do shows. I guess some shows are running okay. The Comedy and Magic, what's the Magic Castle's doing a show? They're doing all right.
Yeah, they're doing like a parking lot stage show.
But yeah, other than that, it's like fucking, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm making my garage into some sort of like hangout zone for me, so I can, you know, have a little bit of free time. Otherwise, they're up my ass. This door can open at any time, and it's over for me. People know where I am at all times.
So if you play catch with your kids, though, it counts as PE?
I got to do something, dude. I mean, they have a PE class that this coach has got, but they're doing jumping jacks in the house. The dog's going fucking nuts. I go, can we take PE outside? Well, the Wi-Fi doesn't work outside. Okay, great. Well, now I got to extend the Wi-Fi outside so that PE can go on. I go, just skip PE and we'll play basketball later on. I don't know what to tell you. I'm looking up what meiosis is, for God's sake. I'm a class and a half behind. Every time they come out, they go, Dad, I go, what time's lunch? That's what I'm good at. I can make a fucking tuna sandwich. You need a grilled cheese going. I'm great at that. All this other shit, I don't have time for. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at it. And I feel like self-conscious about it because they're looking at me like, didn't you do this? And like, almost like you want us to remember this shit that you don't remember, but you did it. And now we're supposed to fucking remember it. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, just do it. Someone's got to do it. I'm paying for all of it. That's the bottom line. I'm paying for all of it. And I don't feel like any of it is being utilized. Fucking, and if you die, you die. Speaking of dying, I'll tell you this right now. Someone at the Yankees-Rays game is going to die tonight because what happened last night was fucking bonkers. And look, it's been going on in baseball for years. People get chirpy. They actually bounce back and forth. You hit my guy, I'm going to hit your guy. That's how it works. The Yankees and the Rays don't like each other. I like that. I like the fact that they have someone to go after. I like the fact that the Rays are young and they're like, we don't give a fuck about the Yankees. To me, it's like, oh, the Boston Red Sox aren't great right now, so let's come up with a new rival, especially, an in-league rival, in-division rival, and let's take it to them. They're good. But, the Rays like to throw inside. The Yankees came in. Tanaka hit Wendell in the first inning, hit him on the leg. He doesn't speak English that well, so he didn't really, clock it. He just went on with his, that's his demeanor, Tanaka. He goes, I'm just going to keep going. If you're chirping at me, or I think Wendell was saying something at first base, whatever. I'm not listening to it. He went on to pitch a great game. Then in the ninth inning, they brought in Chapman. And the first pitch Aroldis Chapman throws is a 103-mile-an-hour fastball above Broussard's head, at Broussard's head. And here's the deal, okay? Yes, I'm a huge Yankee fan. Yes, I believe that, I have an East Coast bias. But that shit that's not, I like Aroldis Chapman. I'm glad he's on our team. I'm glad he pitches for us. I like his enthusiasm. I like his intensity. I like the fact that he throws fast. But he doesn't make the best decisions all the time. He's not the smartest fucking guy. And last night he made a real poor choice for a lot of reasons. Number one, he doesn't have to get up there with a bat in his hand and face the repercussions himself. DJ LeMahieu does. Luke Voigt does. And now it's going to be going back. When you throw a 103-mile-an-hour fastball at someone's head, there will be payback. It's going to come. It's happening. So, and it's not going to happen to you. So you just fucked your own team.
Yep.
There's a spot where you throw at someone's legs. You throw at someone's back, okay? Even if you throw fast at their fucking ass.
Well, you don't throw that fast.
I
Throw
mean,
something off speed, you throw a cutter. You don't throw 103. You could kill somebody with that.
It just, look, I understand why the bench is cleared. I like it. But then, Kevin Cash, the Tampa Bay manager, he goes off on a rant later on talking about, and I understandably upset, I get it. But then when you say, like, I've got a whole stable of guys that throw 98, now you fucked your team.
Yeah.
Because Major League Baseball's got to hear all of this. They're going to make a warning. There's only one game left. Tonight's the last game, the last game in the season between the Rays and the Yankees. So until the playoffs come. So you got one shot left. They're going to get warned before. And if the Rays players throw inside at the Yankees, they could get tossed from the game. So he's going to end up possibly costing the pitcher a couple different, maybe a couple games for a suspension. You blame the Yankees coaches. I don't think the Yankees coaches I don't think they tell Chapman what to do. I don't think they went and told him to go out there and throw at somebody. Again, it goes back to this one guy who has bad decision making. He's done it before, both in his personal life and on the fucking field. But it's going to cost someone tonight because I have a feeling the Yankees are going to get thrown at. Someone's going to get hit, and I just hope there's no injuries. And I hope that we don't, have a huge bench clearing thing where we lose guys to suspension because, trust me, we already have enough fucking problems. They can't figure out either one of Aaron Judge's calves. I mean, he's got the calves of a fucking kitten, this fucking guy. 6'7", and they cannot keep this guy healthy. Another 2 weeks on the disabled list. Giancarlo Stanton, probably will never see him for the rest of the fucking season. Some of these guys are coming off. Zach Britton came off. Hopefully, Gleyber Torres is coming off soon. But what we don't need is 5 guys getting suspended tonight because there's a bench clearing brawl because they threw at Luke Voigt's head. Because Luke Voigt will be one of those guys. Brett Gardner is going to be one of those guys. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. I like it, but it doesn't make complete sense to me. And I wasn't happy with the decision that Chapman makes on his own. Because he's a fucking hothead. And then doing the whole, bring it on. Of course he's good. He's a fucking, Chapman's like a robot, dude. He's humongous. He comes in for 1 inning a game, made every other day, throws 10 to 15 pitches, and he's got the adrenaline of a fucking, a racehorse So of course he's going to want to fight at the end. It's crazy how it's just, he doesn't think. But they'll find out because it's not going to be pretty. I think it's going to go down tonight. Did you guys did you see that last night or no?
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think?
I think they need to be careful based on how the MLB is treating everything this season with suspensions. So the littlest look or the littlest comment's going to get guys, suspended and fined, and they got to walk on eggshells. Just get through this game, incident free, and then next season do whatever you want to each other.
Do they throw at the Yankees tonight? Yes or no?
No.
I say yes.
If
I say no, just because they're going to be suspended. They know that they're going to get hit with some hard fines, some hard suspensions to just get through tonight. They're in the lead in the division. Don't fuck around.
One of them's going to have a Joe Kelly mentality where it's like, yep, we got the message. Yep, I know what to do, but here's what I'm going to do anyway. Someone threw at one of our best well, it doesn't matter. Someone threw at my teammate's head at 103 miles an hour. So here you go. Here's your fucking medicine, and I'll take one for the team.
Steve, if I die, I die.
I mean, I know but someone might tonight. And I'm worried it's going to be DJ LeMahieu. I really am. It's like I'm worried it's going to be one of our fucking studs that we can't afford to fucking miss. And I God forbid it's an 8-0 game or like it turns into a meaningless game because then you'll have some Rays fucking pitcher that comes in. By the way, half their pitching staff's on the DL, so they got a lot of guys up there from the alternative side that I don't know anything about. I'm sure they throw fast. And I'm sure they're like, look, I'm up here for one fucking game, okay? And if I could buff someone up and make a statement and back up my teammates and then, be shipped back down to the minor leagues, well, then so be it. And that's going to happen. And it's going to fucking suck. By the way, did you see Clevenger? The trade deadline came when Clevenger got traded to the Padres, which I said, they're no joke.
Yeah.
They're not fucking around this year, man.
They're spending money.
They're spending money. They got that inside, that whole left side of that infield is ridiculous between Machado and Tatis. You got a couple young pitchers that are pretty good. And now you got Clevenger, who is, I think, going to be, if he can get his head screwed on straight, be pretty phenomenal. And so if I'm the Dodgers, I'm scared of the fucking Padres now. I really am. And then where the hell did Giants come from? Giants scored 23 runs last night. I don't think they had 23 runs in the first 10 games of the season.
23-5, and I didn't hear the Rangers' comments on the game. So
what did they say?
You're not supposed to run up the score apparently, and the Giants ran up the score last night. The Rangers didn't come to the Rockies' defense.
Yeah, the NL West teams are just speeding up the fucking Texas Rangers, and I like it. I like it a lot because you know what? The Rangers for years used to have fucking guys on their team that would talk shit, so much shit, years, and never fucking they were kind of rivals with the Yankees a little bit in the late '90s. They'd make it to the playoffs and then we'd fucking get rid of them. Bernie Williams would have like 4 for 4 games, and we would sweep the fucking Rangers in the first round of the playoffs every year. But they always talk shit. You know who doesn't talk shit? The A's. You don't see the A's talking shit. They just go out and they fucking win. They don't talk shit. Texas shit talking, fuck them. I watched the Hard Knocks last night. Did you guys watch it?
I through 3 episodes.
You didn't get the last night's one.
No.
It was interesting. I don't know if you've heard since then, the Chargers have announced that Tyrod Taylor is going to be their starting quarterback today.
Not surprising.
Which doesn't surprise me at all. I guess to cover the football aspect of it, Herbert, whatever his fucking name is, he's having hit or miss days. That seems to be the whole MO across from what I'm gathering. I watched a couple minutes here and there of the NFL coverage of the training camps, but it seems to be with these rookie quarterbacks. They're having good days and they're having bad days, like they are supposed to as rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And so, obviously you start Tyrod Taylor until he throws one too many interceptions, and you see how the other guy's developing. But I'm interested to see how it is for Tua down in Miami. Like, how is he going to handle week 1 next week when it's for fucking real and you've handed everything over? Like Joe Burrow says, like, they're saying he seems to be the guy, 100% go for it. He's the guy, rookie or not rookie. He's the guy we're going with. And they seem to have confidence in him. But I don't know how exactly it's going to break down as far as all these rookie guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Tua starting though? I think Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter week 1.
I know they wanted Tua, but I think Fitzpatrick will probably end up being the guy till he throws, until he pulls a Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but he'll throw 5 picks, but he'll have 10 touchdowns.
Joe Burrow, he looks like the guy already. I mean, who's their backup over there?
I don't know.
Signed Mixon. They have some. Green comes back. They signed Mixon to a long-term deal. I just hope he's like, they're not sending him out as like a fucking lamb to slaughter. But
they might be.
Like Herbert's going to have the longest learning curve because I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. He didn't take a snap under center in college. He has a lot of learning to do.
Yeah. He was in the
They mentioned that in Hard Knocks, and that's why he was giving away plays by the way he was calling for the ball to be snapped. So he had different tones for when he was going to pass and when he was going to run. So he's got a lot to learn. But the skill set's there. Skills-wise, he's a better passer. He can run probably better than Tyrod. So he will take over. But he's got to learn how to read defenses. He's got to learn how to be under center. And that could take, 2 weeks. That could take 10 weeks.
If he's playing by week 6, that's a bad sign for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because their defense is good. I mean, they did lose one guy this week.
Derwin James.
Yeah. But their
I
defense
heard
was pretty solid.
Was it in episode 4 where Mike Williams gets hurt? Because I heard Mike got hurt, but I haven't seen it yet.
So
that's a big one.
Last night's
now
episode.
It's like Keenan Allen and then a huge drop off.
They said a couple of weeks for Mike Williams, right? For his shoulder injury.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I always get caught up in Hard Knocks as being like, oh, these guys look good. That rookie Rams wide receiver, what's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Jefferson, is it? Is it Jefferson?
Yes. Jefferson.
Yeah.
Please draft all of them next week, Steve. Just Chargers and Rams for you.
I did that last year.
Please do that.
Well, 2 years ago I did Cooper Kupp, and that worked out real well.
You wanted Darren Waller last year.
Do it again.
Darren Waller I picked up last year, and that worked out okay for a couple weeks, and then most of the year not really. But he, so there's going to be like trust me, that guy's going to be on my team. That Jefferson kid from the Rams is going to be on one of my football teams for sure.
And any of the listeners who do end up in our league, please draft them ahead of him. Fight over those guys. Look, all of you, fight over the Rams and the Chargers. Take them all.
Brenton believes that he's going to run away with this thing this year. We're going to try it. So our Patreon members, if you want to play fantasy football with us, we're going to get your emails together. We're going to do a 12-man league. We'll pull some names out of the hat for everyone else who can do it and is available for the draft, and then we'll go from there. We'll see. I mean, I think we'll get half the season in before the whole thing gets shut down, right? What do you think? How many weeks in before this whole thing gets shut down?
I think we'll lose players, football? But I don't think they're not gonna shut it down. There's too much money.
Yeah, there's gonna be a full season.
They wouldn't even be trying if they were having the intent of at some point we might have to shut this down. They're just gonna run the table. We're gonna lose people. You're gonna lose players to COVID.
Do you think if this was a regular season week, right, that NFL teams would have sat out on Sunday the way MLB teams did? I mean, they sat out practice, and that was covered a lot in the Hard Knocks episode. But do you think they would have actually sat out a whole weekend of football?
Everyone except the Cowboys.
For real. I mean,
yeah, I think they would.
Yeah, I
they
think
would.
certain teams definitely, but yeah, maybe the Cowboys wouldn't have. Jerry Jones is pretty opinionated.
I mean, look, practice is practice, and they were all very. I mean, just from what I saw on the Hard Knocks episode, they were all really adamant about trying to send a message that we are in the middle of a movement, and we have to concentrate on the fact that this thing is the most important social aspect of our lives right now. But then a lot of them were like, hey, you know what? Why cost ourselves a practice in doing the same thing? But I think if you sent the message the way the NBA tried to say is like, you're going to miss us when we're not here, and tonight we're not going to be here. If all 32 teams did that for a whole week, I'm talking Thursday night game, Sunday night game, Monday night game, and all the games on Sunday, a whole weekend of football, that would have sent a huge message, I believe, a huge message. And I don't know if you would have got it. All we got was what we heard from the different, the Hard Knocks 2 teams, a couple training camps, and some players online. But you don't know what the sentiment of the whole team was like. You don't know how and I would have been interested to see if that would have played out that way. I don't know. I don't think so. I would have probably said you would have had some teams that felt, directly connected to the situation be like, we're not going to do it. And some games would have been canceled, but not a 32-game blackout for a whole weekend. That's a lot of money out of everybody's pocket. And I don't know if they would have done it, even if it comes down to money, which it always does. I do like the fact that the NBA did it, especially during the playoffs. I respected that. I was like, wow, during the fucking playoffs, the NBA seems to really be attuned with what's going on. And they were like, fuck it, we're not going to play. And those were big time games. I mean, these NBA playoff games have been unreal. I know. Did you watch last night's Game 7?
Yeah.
I mean, with Jamal Murray and fucking, what's his name?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. I was about to say Clay Matthews. Donovan Mitchell. With having 2 50-point games, or 2 or 3 of them each in this fucking series, was ridiculous. And having come down to that play last night, it's really like, and I like how we were saying before, things are getting tightened up in the NBA. There's defense being played now. They're really going at each other. It was so much fucking fun to watch. So much fun to watch. So I think the NBA is killing it.
That was crazy low scoring last night too.
Yeah. Because, really when it comes down, when you're not playing like all-star game street ball, when you're like, look, this is for everything we got to do. We got to play defense. It's fun to watch. They're doing a good job. I'm watching a little hockey too. I'm watching the Islanders, who are the only team that seem like they're playing fucking ridiculous as well. Lights out. I think the Islanders could go to the final.
Yeah.
Are you watching any of that, Brenton, or no?
I've caught games here and there, but mostly just basketball.
Who wins OKC Houston tonight?
I want OKC.
It's going to come down to how well does Chris Paul play and how well does Gallinari play. And if they play well, then they're going to beat Houston. Because
Russell Westbrook not playing as well, coming back from the injury.
Well, he's also going to be on a minutes restriction, regardless of how well he plays.
Yeah,
I've already said that. He's minutes restriction no matter what. So he'll maybe play like 25, 28 minutes tonight.
Steven Adams, I think if they could feed him the ball, they seem to just
he can smash against them. They're a tiny team.
Kenny Smith said the other day. Kenny Smith was saying, he's like, if it's within 5 points, then you just gotta feed him just 2s. You don't need 3s. Mm-hmm. But you get outside of 5, you gotta run with the fucking Rockets. So you gotta start shooting more 3s, which they like to do, OKC. But you can't fall in love with that. You gotta feed Steven Adams the ball. They don't have an answer for him down there. They're not a great low post team. Yeah, the Rockets. And
Chris Paul was with the Rockets, right? And then they didn't want to re-sign him so they could get Westbrook. So I think he has that like fire in him.
Oh,
that he wants that revenge. So I think OKC takes it.
He also sees Jake from State Farm getting all this fucking all this credit and being in the press so much. He's like, I'm the fucking State Farm guy. That's my shit. I'm the State Farm person.
He's got to pay for all that shit that the imposter keeps breaking of his. So he needs to keep winning.
I know, that's the dumbest fucking slant on this whole. I mean, insurance commercials have gone off the rails ever since they started the Geico shit. The caveman, and they started this whole thing. Now every one of them is, but to have fucking Carlton playing Chris Paul trying to, like, why are you at my house? Why are you talking to my son? We've entered into creepy factor, Aren't you Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Get the fuck out of. Why are you wearing a beard? This is all very strange now. It's all too weird, dude. Speaking of weird, did you see that lady that swallowed a snake in Russia? She swallowed a 4-foot snake and they pulled it out of her fucking throat. Oh, look that shit up, Lucas. I was looking at like crazy
she did
shit
it
for the week.
Intentionally?
Oh, I don't know if she swallowed the snake intentionally or if she was, I don't know how the snake got down there, if she fell asleep and it got into her throat, but they said it was a world record for people swallowing snakes. I was like, I didn't even know that it was a thing. I don't even know how that could have become a thing. Like, we're too off the rails now. Yeah. There it is. There she is at the top.
How's the snake doing?
4-foot snake. I mean, it's still alive. It was, I mean, the pornography industry is missing out on someone.
Where they got snakes set the record for the farthest it's ever gotten into a human.
Oh my God.
2 records broken.
Another record too. What's her name? Joined OnlyFans and then for a day and then jumped off and then took like $1 million from people, which was I think it's the greatest move ever. Yeah, dude. She got my $5.
She made $2
Wait, what?
million. She made $2 million. She
like
made $1 million in one day, and then over a week, I think she made 2.
Yeah, and then everybody was asking for their money back because she lied about what she posted.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted my money back because I was like, I thought wait a minute.
Sorry, what?
Wait. No, I mean, I like the move of just going in, getting that sweet cash, and then jumping off and being like, that's it, gotcha, motherfuckers. $2 million. Look, those people knew. There's a reason why she can get on there and get some $2 million in a day. People want to see it, and then that's it. Shame on you, you fucking filthy animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except she made OnlyFans change all of their rules, and so now people who were actually making a living off of OnlyFans can no longer because of the way they changed the rules because of what she did. That's why people are so pissed. Because it used to be that you could cash out every 7 days, and that there was there's certain rules about if people wanted their money back and stuff, and because so many people asked for their money back after what she did, it caused OnlyFans all of this money because there's certain processing fees that go along with returning all that money. So they returned all the money, but now they've put in new rules about how much you can charge for things and how things work. And so people who were previously actually making a living on OnlyFans can't anymore because they're capped at how much money they can charge for stuff. They used to be able to charge whatever they wanted. Now they can only charge $100, and it's messing up a lot of people's livelihood. That's why people are so pissed at her.
Oh, really? I thought it was just communism, a quick cash grab.
Yeah, it's not because they didn't get the nudes of Bella Thorne that they wanted. It's mostly the people who actually made a living on OnlyFans who cannot do that really anymore because of she pulled this stunt and they changed the rules and now they can't make enough money to live off of.
Oh, that sucks. She fucked the whole system up for everybody.
Yeah, she fucked the whole thing. Yeah.
By the way, who's Bella Thorne?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
It's just every other day you go on Twitter and then some new person's trending that has 8 billion followers. I have no idea who the fuck any of these people are.
So she's an actress, director, singer, and model.
Yeah. She was on Stern, and I was listening to an interview with her, and my wife we were in the car, and the kids were doing online school. And Tracy was just I've never just not liked someone based off of their interview, but I don't really like this girl at all. And I was I don't really know her at all. And I looked her up. I'd never seen anything she was in. And then, but I did see one thing. She was she directed porn, which I was what's that about? And apparently she couldn't find the kind of porn that she liked watching. So she just started making her own, which I was oh, cool. And then like literally like the other day, I saw that she had this OnlyFans thing. I was like, oh, she's probably gonna start like putting the stuff that she directs up there on her own.
Yeah, I think that's why people are so mad, because most of the people who got super fucked by the new OnlyFans rules are like sex workers and porn stars and stuff. People who like that is their living, and now they can't make their living. And it's like you were like you should uplift them if that's what you're doing, not ruin their livelihood.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, I don't even know what it is, but it seems like it's I just thought it was like a thing where she just went and tried to grab a couple $1 million from a company through a loophole. But
I mean, I think she kind of did.
The entire industry.
Yeah.
Fine, she fucked an entire industry. I didn't realize one that we value very much. We all need.
Literally and literally.
Important.
Yeah, it's hard to fuck the porn industry. She did.
Really, yeah, and she did. Hard.
Yeah,
that's
truly unique.
Fuck, dude.
That was she didn't even put one picture up. Dude, a lot. Yeah, too many, I think. I'm gonna watch the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Did you even know it was on? That's another thing that it's like. It seems like it happens every 4 weeks, and I know it's once a year, but it just like I just watched that. It just happened.
No, it's supposed to be. No, you watched the Belmont. That was in June. And it's been way since 4 weeks since then. But Kentucky Derby usually happens in May, and they're doing it Saturday. Mm-hmm. No fans at Churchill Downs. Who are the horses? Lucas, can you pull up the horses that are in it? We'll just pick a horse right now based on name. Who we got here? Frick?
Finnick the Fierce.
Finnick the Fierce. Max Player. Enforceable. Storm the Court. Major Fed. King Guillermo. Money Moves. South Bend. Mr. Big News. 1,000 Words. Sol Volante.
I need to see, is there anywhere with the odds?
Tis the Law. I know the one that won the whatever the
Here we go.
There's the odds. Tis the Law, yeah. New York Traffic. That's what I'm going with. New York Traffic. That's my fucking pick. More Mr. Big News on the long shot right there. Can you go back up to see who I want to see who the trainers are. That's another good one. Trainer, Ray Hernandez. I don't know anything that good.
Yeah, what are you talking? You don't know anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You need to see the trainers.
Bob Baffert,
now,
dude, I know Bob
all of a sudden,
Baffert.
an expert.
Dude, I know Tom Fletcher. I know Bob Baffert.
Oh, you know them? You're reading their names off the thing. You know trainers for horses, but you don't know mitosis.
I don't know either one of those things, but I've heard Bob Baffert's name before several times. I'm sure he's won the Kentucky Derby. So what's that 1,000 Words, Authentic? No, I don't like either one of those horses. I'm going with New York Traffic or...
I like that. Their jockey's name is Paco Lopez. That's the best jockey.
Paco Lopez, dude. Or Joe Rocco Jr. is a great name, too, for a jockey.
It's winning impression.
Yeah, I'm going New York Traffic at 20-1. Buck it! Take it down, bitch.
I'm going King Guillermo at 20-1 as well.
I'm gonna go. I say Storm the Court's gonna shock everybody at 50-1.
50-1. You're going with the whoa, dude.
I'm not even touching those.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Either that or 1,000 Words.
Oh, because Bob Baffert, dude. Because I said that. Bob Baffert trains 1,000 Words. See that? And Florent Guru.
No, then I like Storm the Court. At 50-1, Storm the Court.
Put it down, bitches. You want to go with the loser? Storm the Court. I mean, you got a horse you like, Carrie?
I literally know nothing about any of this. I guess that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Well, clearly none of us do, especially Steve.
You see these names? Attachment rate?
Has anyone taken King Guillermo yet?
I did. You
You
can
did?
get on. You can get on it though.
All right, I like that. I just like that name. It sounds strong.
All right,
Same.
King Guillermo it is. I like it. None of these horses are going to win. Probably, if any of our horses die, you blame the person that chose them because they willed it into the world. It's the Tour Championship this weekend for golf. It's a big weekend. Someone's going to win $20 million of FedEx's money. Did you watch the last hole? You just had to watch the last hole. It was ridiculous. Dustin Johnson was down by a stroke. Jon Rahm was up by 1 going into 18. Dustin Johnson hit a 45-foot putt that broke 4 different ways to force a playoff. Jon Rahm and Dustin Johnson go to the 18th hole to play again. Dustin throws his right in the middle of the fairway. He gets actually lucky because he hits a tree and then it bounces into the fairway. Jon Rahm put his tee shot into the rough. Rahm goes first and throws his up on the green 65 feet away, real far. And then Dustin Johnson from the middle of the fairway throws his to about 15 feet. So you got a 60-footer and a 15-footer. Rahm goes first and buries this 60-footer in the bottom of the fucking cup, dude. It broke 100 different ways. Then Dustin Johnson, to tie, just barely missed his putt. So Jon Rahm won this week, and now going into the Tour Championship, they've done it several different ways, but the way they're doing it now is if you were in first place and had the most points right now, you start at 10 under. Second place, you started 8 under, and so on and so forth for the 30 players left. The last 5 guys started even par, and then whoever wins this tournament wins the whole thing and the $20 million. So based on what happened last week, I really, really think that Jon Rahm is going to win the whole thing. I think he's coming off of an unbelievable momentum swing. I would say my second choice would be Justin Thomas. I think Justin Thomas is ripe for a victory. I don't think 2 strokes down. He's going to be, I think, 7 or 8 under. That's only 2 or 3 strokes behind. You can catch someone over the course of 4 days, 2 or 3 strokes. And I think that, I think Victor Hovland will have a good weekend. So, I don't think he's going to win. But the Tour Championship is very exciting. And I picked the past 2 winners on DraftKings the last couple of weeks. But I can't get a fucking guy to stay. Like Webb Simpson dropped out after I chose him. Like I'm losing big-time players due to withdrawal left and fucking right. So you can't go into the weekend with just having half your guys playing. So I didn't win this week at any money on DraftKings, but I did pick Jon Rahm.
We know what you could do, which is fun. If you don't want to do the salary thing, I started doing it with basketball and I won some money this week. There's a thing called tiers. So then you're just picking, it's called tiers. So instead of picking, when you have the salary and the salary runs out, it just gives you like, here's tier 1. And then you pick between 3 or 4 guys, who's going to have the best week. And then tier 2, who's going to have the best week. And you just pick out, with no salary restriction, nothing. They have the players set. And
oh, really? I'm going to look that
up.
Who
you think it's going to be the best? Because I started doing it with basketball and had a really good week.
Speaking of basketball, did you see Michael Jordan sign on to be a board member on DraftKings?
So did my stock.
Yeah, dude. What do you mean?
It went way the fuck up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course, dude. He's going to be an advisor. They gave him a share of the company. You think? Yeah, apparently, I didn't realize that him and Mark Cuban and some other guy started a company of like 5 or 6 years ago. It was basically like a sports data information company that gives data to these various, DraftKings, these gambling enterprises. So you get the sports information, for their experts and stuff. So double dipping. I think that, look at Jordan. He owns the team. He owns the company you can bet on the team. And he also owns the information company that is given from the team to the fucking to the betting company. It's like, so there's no place he doesn't have his hand.
He loves to gamble.
Right? It's unbelievable. I love it. I love the fact that he loves to do it, but it's like, man, guy can't get enough. And why not? If you're DraftKings, I mean, is FanDuel even like do they even compete anymore? I mean, I know they have commercials.
They do fine. Penn Gaming does pretty well too. And then I hear there's like European competitors that are going to try to break into the US market. But
all you have to do is be cool with Apple. You just have to be cool with Apple.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Apple runs shit. My kids are complaining to me because the Fortnite fucking tournament they're about to do is getting fucked up because some kids play on tablets or phones and they're not doing the updates because Apple's giving them the kibosh to Fortnite. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on. Fortnite, I guess, is charging money on inside the app. You can buy stuff and not have to go through the Apple store to buy it. And so Apple's like, no.
Yeah, they're doing that to avoid the Apple fee.
Yeah, Apple's like, no, we're the mafia, okay? You pay us. We protect you. We give you access to what you want, but you've got to pay us, okay? And if you don't, we'll throw you off fucking one of those buildings that we make these things in China. So that's how it works. You got to go through Apple. And I guess Fortnite's trying to be like the first company to be like, fuck you, we're not doing it. And we'll see who wins. I don't know how the battle works, but I know my kids are pissed. I mean, they have Switches, so they play on that. But some of their friends are like going crazy about, we're not getting our updates or whatever. It's fucking people going crazy. Does any of this make sense to you or no? I don't know how. I play Duck Hunt.
Well, I was reading about it because I have stock in Apple, so the whole lawsuit and everything, and they're going to part ways with the company that makes Fortnite.
It just split into 4 ways. You see that, the stock?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Brenton. Oh, yeah. Right? Making that money, sir. Look at you with that big fucking green. Good for you.
Which by the way, I did come in first on Saturday in a contest, but I was tied 55 ways, so my 50,000 became like 1,500.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was pretty bummed.
Did you guys all have the same lineups?
Yeah, like 55 or 60 people all had the exact same lineup. So what would have been a great night was just whatever. I mean,
so all it really does is dilute the people walking around being like, I finished first place in the DraftKings tournament or something like that.
But I came in first.
55 of you that could say that.
I came in first and second that night in 2 different things.
Dude, I got to come see what you got going on, your setup over there. This beautiful mind.
I'll show you my notes, my whole process and everything. It's an operation now. And it's Sunday. I followed it up. I was in first place for literally the very start of the second half until there was a minute 13 left. And then I fucking dropped because it was game 6 of the Jazz Nuggets. I needed Murray to go off, which he did. And I needed Conley not to get 33.25 points, and he ended up with 36.5 at the end of the game. It's
going to be interesting these first couple of weeks of football as far as fantasy goes.
It's a dart throw.
Not season-long fantasy, but daily fantasy will take, because a lot of these guys are coming out of camps, and their teams know that what they can do, but the world doesn't know what they can do yet. And you're going to have, I bet 2 or 3 guys that have huge monster weeks that are on less than 10% of the rosters. Guys that are going to a top five guy, fantasy points week 1 will be on less than 10% of people's teams based on the fact that nobody knows who that person is or what kind of role they are playing in the scheme. That's the prediction I have. Take that one to the bank.
I mean, someone might break out from Jaguars camp. One of the running backs might go off. Chris Thompson in a PPR league, he might get 30 points week 1. Because what are they going to do? They can't run the ball. Gardner Minshew can't throw, so he's just going to dump it off.
Do you think that what's his name, Leonard Fournette, lands somewhere else?
Yeah, he will. Absolutely. He might go to Chicago. There's questions around David Montgomery. He could go to, the Lions. You think Kerryon Johnson's going to have any role in that offense? He sucks. So you're talking about a guy who's only in his 4th year, 1,700 yards. He's going to go somewhere. It just might take a minute for him to learn the system.
And again,
he's got talent.
It comes down to a thing. It's like running back. Someone will get hurt. Someone will, There'll be injuries. There'll be a COVID test positive thing, and you'll have a job in a couple of weeks. I think he's still, a good running back. What about who wins the starting job in Chicago? I mean, it's really a battle. I don't think either one of these guys have really shown. It's not like they're like, fuck,
No.
we're up against the wall because we got 2 studs. I mean, I don't think either one of them have been truly impressive. But
I think
you got to pick one of them.
Mitch ultimately will win the job.
Why?
I don't think he's bad. I think he was in a bad system last year because the year before he had a great year. He was in a good system, and then last year was just a terrible system. But he's not like he's got skills. I mean, maybe if he doesn't win the job, he goes somewhere else and he gets a starting job somewhere else and shows everybody he's good.
Yeah, I mean, he could be like a Nick Foles where he goes somewhere else and has success somewhere else. I mean, Foles was the backup or the Rams, and he got the job, and then he had to move over, but I think his time is over. I think even if he gets the job, it's done. There's no way. It's either he's going to get the job and collapse, or he's not going to get the job. But I don't think he's going to be in a Bears uniform for past the season at all. I think the Mitchell Trubisky years are over. Yeah. But, who knows?
What a mess, though. He was in the same draft as Fournette.
Yeah.
That really, I feel bad for the Jags fans.
Weren't they both in the Patrick Mahomes draft too, right?
Yeah. And the Jaguars, they were looking for a new coach that offseason. They were interviewing people, and a couple of them, Josh McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan, they said, they'd take the job, but they didn't want Blake Bortles. And kind of one of the conditions was you have to find a way to make Bortles work. And so Doug Marrone said, yeah, I can coach Bortles. And they became a power running team, drafted Fournette like 4th overall when Christian McCaffrey went 9th. I mean, if they were like that would drive me crazy. And then they deliberately didn't take a quarterback because
they believed in Blake
so
Bortles.
Much stock. Yeah.
And that's why Tom Coughlin's not there anymore. And that's why Doug Marrone's not there anymore. The Washington football team, I hope I'm getting better at it. They just announced Haskins is going to be the quarterback. They said he's done everything that they wanted him to do since Ron Rivera took the job. And, he's been great.
Who's their pack
season, so it's the Kyle Allen kid that he brought over from Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much of a battle there was in camp, but they seem to be very happy with the job.
Wait, who's Carolina's quarterback now?
Teddy.
It's Teddy
Bridgewater. That's right.
Yeah, Mr. Fucking expert, Teddy Bridgewater. He's probably gonna have a great year too.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a great year. Nobody's gonna really kind of know about it until week 6.
Yeah, I was watching
that.
Yeah, I know. Lamar Jackson looks great. I was just seeing their camp. He. Do you think Lamar Jackson has a better year this year or last year?
Last year. Last year. Madden. Speaking of which, have you read the reviews for this Madden 21?
No.
Oh, they're the worst ever. They're setting records on Metacritic. The user score. Try to guess what it is.
38.
What's the scale? I don't even know the scale.
0 to 10, but it includes like decimals, so it can be like 7.6 or.
4.3, or I guess I should say 3.8.
Okay.
I'll say a 2.
Steve, you're closer. It's a 0.3.
What?
0.3 for approval rating?
Yes, a bunch of pissed off Madden fans went up and deliberately bombarded Metacritic's user ratings for the new Madden because there's so many glitches in the game. Like I've seen clips on Twitter of kick returners scoring touchdowns while running with the ball on their helmet, and just like people like running through. This first batch is so glitchy, and people are so pissed that for an entire day on Twitter, the NFL cancel EA hashtag was trending. It's the worst Madden ever.
What do they normally rate at? Like I'm sure. Like what's the normal rate? Like is it like a 7 or 8 or a 10? Or is it like they normally?
Yeah,
Wow.
it hasn't been like a 9 since 2007, but it's
Well,
usually
they
always
haven't.
between 6 and 8.
What more can you do to that game to update it and make it great? It's pretty realistic.
Well,
They tried doing that. You can be a GM and you can decide prices of soda and popcorn. And now you got players that are calling you saying they're pissed about their contract. Like, what more can you update that game where you're not just still playing football?
I mean, they showed the celebrations for the Super Bowls in the game throughout the years, and they haven't changed
Yeah.
the celebration in like 7 years. It's the same cuts, the same shots. Like, they are just recycling the same game, updating the roster. One of the other gripes is the franchise mode, where you do set the price, the popcorn and the parking. They kind of get rid of that, and they have some sort of career mode that has like Snoop Dogg in it, and like a bunch of like voice actors, that aren't even players.
If you're a manager with the Washington football team, can you get sexually harassed?
That might be, and hopefully the update, because they need anything to separate themselves from last year.
You want to get a 9 from me for that rating? Make it realistic.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of clips of people just like running through. The glitches are insane. I don't know who tested it, how this game got through, but yeah, it's the worst reviewed video game of all time.
I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, yeah, I sucks for EA Sports. What else were they doing during?
Well, the other thing is that EA has an exclusive contract with the NFL that runs out until like 2026, so they can't cancel them. That's the other bitch.
Yeah, but I mean, really, like Madden's going to be there forever. This is not going away. As long as it's football, it's going to be Madden. So I don't know where they're going to do it, but I mean, look, nerds, get your shit together. Start figuring out better video game glitches. I don't know.
Or they're smart and they know we're through 2026. They can't go anywhere. Let's put out a piece of garbage and just.
Or maybe they know more
the
than we know. Maybe they think that these guys are capable running. Kickers are capable of shit. Like, push the boundaries. Trying to.
It doesn't bode well for Lamar Jackson, though.
Well, it doesn't. But I mean, look.
I don't think Lamar Jackson, to get back to the original thing, is going to have a better year. Just because I think the odds of him getting spied and double spied are going to go up. They're going to figure out defenses to play around his skill set. And honestly, I would be amazed if he makes it through the whole season without getting hurt.
Well, you could say that every year, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, but you can't, as a quarterback, run that much and not eventually get hurt.
Yeah. I think that the fact that defenses and defensive coordinators have had a year of tape to look at, to be able to scheme and see what worked, what didn't work. That's going to be difficult for them to overcome. But I think that, you've also had a couple months now, 8 months of Lamar Jackson looking at what could he improve upon, what could he get, better at, what was working well, at the beginning of the season versus the end of the season last year, and see if Harbaugh and him can come up with some different options and, change some things around, maybe be more of a pocket guy and throw the ball more, or, pass first. Who knows? But I don't think number-wise he's going to have as great of a year as he had last year, but I think you'll see maybe he'll have more passing yards and less rushing touchdowns or less touchdowns overall, but that could be a thing where they're like, we want you in the pocket more. We don't want to jeopardize your health by sending it out there as many times as we did last year. He could shock them last year with his speed because people hadn't seen it before, and it was, ridiculous what the things he was doing. But now that you've had time to kind of plan and scheme, you don't want to send your guy out there running the same thing because now you're going to get him hurt. So hopefully the Ravens have figured something out. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think he's going to have the numbers year. So who's the guy this year then? If you're drafting a quarterback first, who do you want?
You want me to give you my draft strategy a week before we have our draft together?
I want you to give me your number one quarterback as far as who you think draft number-wise or fantasy number-wise this year is going to have the best year.
Honestly,
now, you don't have to tell me where you're going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying who's the first quarterback, if all quarterbacks are available off the board, or on the board and I can take him wherever I want, then it's going to be Mahomes. But I honestly think Kyler Murray is in a position where he could end up having the best year statistically of any quarterback. I think he has so many weapons. He's in a pass-first offense, and he can run. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a ridiculous year. I just wouldn't draft him as early as people are drafting him.
What about you?
Tom Brady.
No.
Overall number one fantasy.
No.
Yeah,
Come
no,
on.
I'm saying like where he's being taken and the talent he has around him and the fuck you factor.
He's got a noodle arm.
Dude, he's been training and stretching all. I don't even think he's thought about coronavirus other than
those vitamins aren't real. They're placebos.
But I'm saying like that guy does not stop working. He wants to show that he can do it without Belichick. I drafted him. My money's on Tom Brady.
Yeah, of course you draft. You know, when you made that pick, we did our draft the other day for the Belly Room League. I was screaming. You weren't in the Zoom, but I was screaming about how much of a traitor you were taking Tom fucking Brady.
I texted my brother.
It is a bold choice.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
But you got him what, in like the 12th round or something?
It was late, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I'm just telling you, he's not going to have a good year. And I think Johnny Skortis took Gronkowski in like the 6th round. And Gronk's barely going to play if he does.
I agree with Brendan. I think but I would say to go against or take someone different, Russell Wilson. We'll have a good one out of.
I just read Russell Wilson has played 11 seasons, and he's been he's never had a losing season before as a quarterback. And he's been top 3-4 times in fantasy, and he's been like top 15 like 8 or 9 times.
I just think that for the value, after Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, it's, you kind of have a drop off. And if I could take Russell Wilson in a later round versus spending an early round draft pick on one of those two guys, I think you'll get the value out of that. That's just my opinion. But then again, we'll see how it works out next week when we do our draft.
Yeah, and people start panicking. The first defense goes off the board, and then 10 more people take defenses.
Someone did something you didn't expect. Next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, your whole fucking plan's out the window. I can see Emma's getting nervous. She's already been concentrating on all the different variations of drafting. She's breaking it down. She's done mock drafts.
I'm doing my research.
Yeah, next week is the day before football begins, correct? Our podcast next week.
Very excited about that.
So we'll have all the information we can possibly have. Yeah.
The Bills look good. Josh Norman's back at practice, limited, but still back at practice. And Bills Mafia is ready for a big year. Which, sidebar, they raised, I don't know how much it's up to now, but when I read it, they raised $15,000. They were sending $14 donations to Fitzpatrick's foundation after his mom passed.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Shout out to Bills Nation for always being the best fans.
They are good people. Also, shout out, Chadwick Boseman fucking crushed me this week. I was like, God damn, dude. 2020, as if it wasn't bad enough. That was a real rough one. So rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman as well. Yeah, that one was like, oh, really? 2020. And then, of course, I saw the ESPN had the Black Mamba and the and Black Panther. They had the two of them together. I was like, fucking A. God damn, this fucking shit year. Yeah. Well, next week we'll pick our fantasy teams and we'll pick some winners for. Could we do our $20? We'll do our $50 thing that we did last year, right? Yeah. Where we get Lucas paid
for
making the video. Money. We'll all each pick a game that speaks to us. We'll go from there. I'm not fucking
around this year. I'm gonna go 16-0.
How about?
It's a bold claim.
How about like 8-8? Yeah. How about I'll win once in a while?
16-0.
How about not being the anchor that drags us to the bottom of the fucking DraftKings betting pool?
16-0.
I'll take 1-0, buddy. 1-0. We'll start from there. Then you can start your fucking
16-0.
I want to say one more thing. I want to thank my buddy Lee and Carroll, who's a New York City fireman, We played golf 2 weeks ago in New York, and he gave me a shirt from his golf company that he created with a couple other firemen. It's called Scratch Golfer on the 19th hole, and I wish I had the shirt here, but I don't have it in front of me. So if you, Scratch Golfer on the 19th
good plug.
hole. Yep, cool little design.
Just imagine what it looks like here.
I'll get a picture of what it looks like. But if you Google it, which is way better than me fucking holding it up on some Zoom picture, most people are listening, by the way. So it's called Scratch Golfer on the 19th hole, which means you have a drinking problem. And so, check it out. It also helps support some great New York City firemen. Anything else? Oh, I took a picture with Michael Jordan. I'll post on my trip across the country. I was in a rest stop and I happened to see Michael Jordan. And so I took a picture with him and I'll tweet it out. I don't want people to think it's Photoshop. It's not. It's definitely me and Michael Jordan. So I'll put that out there today.
It's so Michael Jordan does go to rest stops, Steve.
He went to this rest stop. He was in the middle of the tournament that he was playing in this past weekend in Chicago. I happened to be in Dallas. I don't know what he was doing down there for the afternoon. But I saw him in the rest stop. I said, Michael, can I take a picture? It was actually Tiger Woods. It was Tiger Woods, not Michael Jordan. The picture's with Tiger Woods. And so I'll take that. I'll post that picture of Tiger Woods and me.
So everybody, that photo of Steve with Denzel is going up this afternoon. Look out for that.
You watch that picture of me and Chadwick Boseman. And that's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have anything you want to plug? You doing shows or anything or no? Nothing?
No.
Okay.
Look for me at the top of your DraftKings board.
Patreon members, get ready we'll figure out who wants to play fantasy football with us this year. And thank you again for your patronage. Please tell someone about the podcast, to listen, subscribe, to like it, to touch it, to sleep with it, to fondle it. Happy anniversary to my wife. I love you guys. Talk to you next week.
All right.